Hi, welcome back to our talk on changing your world. I'm John Patrick Hickey. We've talked a lot of different things. We've talked about Christians in business, in education, in the arts, in music, in politics. But let me tell you where the real power lies and where we can make the biggest difference in our nation and our culture, in how the world works, because there is a place that we're involved, and you don't have to get involved, you are already involved in it, that is going to make the biggest change that there is, and that is the family. There is nothing more important to this nation than the family. There is nothing more important to the functioning of every aspect of this nation, of this world, than the family. And keeping the family strong. See, one of the things that has deteriorated over the years, along with many other areas of our culture within the church, has been the family. Divorce rates, even amongst Christians, has gone up. Children out of wedlock, fathers abandoning their children, drug use, all the problems. You know, Christian families are not without problems. We all face the problems. And let me tell you something. It's important that we understand that the fact that we are believers doesn't mean that we're immune to problems. It doesn't mean that just because we're believers that all of the struggles that go on in families is not going to touch us. You know, good parents who invest everything in their children, who spend their time with them, who pray with them, who take them to church, who do everything to raise good, solid kids, sometimes end up with really rotten kids. And it's not because they haven't invested in them. It's not their fault. Because eventually, everyone makes their own decisions. So it's important that we remember that, because there's too many parents, especially Christian parents, who carry around this guilt thinking that they failed somehow because of the behavior of their children. And that's not true. That we are all responsible for our own sin. But we need to still work on that being a good family, and praying for our families, and investing in our families. Because keeping a strong family is going to give us a strong nation. Building on a marriage, building on a relationship with our children and our grandchildren, being able to spend that time together, encouraging one another to be the best that we can be. I tell you, no one should be able to find a cheering section in their life that is greater than that in their own family. That they could be able to share their dreams and their visions and find encouragement. Now, you may not understand all of your kids' dreams, because some of them, especially when they're young, some of them might have some real elaborate dreams. But to go and poo-poo them and to say, oh, well, you know, you're not being realistic, you're not looking, is not helping them. You know, you want to encourage them, whatever they want to do, because you don't understand where that is going to lead. You see, I've told you many times, every one of us is created with a purpose, that we all have that purpose that God has placed inside of us. How we identify that purpose differs in each person. And sometimes we might wander down a trail that we don't fully understand, because all we know is how we can identify with those feelings that we have as far as how to fulfill our purpose. But God, through His Spirit, leads us into the right direction. No kid ever starts growing up thinking, oh, I want to grow up and be a nuclear physicist. How does that happen? So how do people become a nuclear physicist? Because things in their life lead them in those directions. But you have to be able to encourage them along the way, no matter how crazy their dreams are. Encourage them to dream. encourage them to pursue those dreams. It's one thing for them just to dream and sit back and say, oh, today I want to do this and tomorrow I want to do that. Instead, what do they have to do? If they have a dream, okay, what do you need to do to make that happen? What do you have to learn? Where do you have to go? What do you have to be in order to make those happen? The same with you. Ask yourself the same questions. Who do you have to be? What do you have to do? And then by doing that, you begin that process of developing, of moving forward. And one door leads to another, which leads to another, and you just don't know where they're going to lead. And wonderful things can happen. The family is always the source of your greatest encouragement, because your family can also be your greatest source of defeat. It can be the place that tears you down, that breaks you every time. And you don't want to be that. In a Christian home, especially, it should be the one where you know people are praying for you, people believe in you, people trust you, people encourage you. Be the place of strength in your family's life, and you'll continue to move forward. I have one more area that I want to focus on that is an important area that is often overlooked but many times debated, and that is how science and Christianity work together. That will be the topic of our next lecture. And I want to encourage you on behalf of the Growth Center. This is John Patrick Hickey saying to live your purpose and pursue your dreams and always change your world.